Hello, welcome. I recently attended an event in Thunder Bay, Ontario called the Consciousness and Conscience Conference. We can say that 10 times fast. I had a very rich experience there, and I wanted to record some of it, maybe in a journal or a story or something. But a lot of poetic imagery kept coming to mind. So I kind of went with it and I wrote a poem. And I think it captured a lot of what it was like for me to be at the event and the experiences that I had and the people that I met. And after getting some encouragement, I decided to share it here. So here we go. I went on an adventure where the shaking of the world collects. I rode there in a vessel forged to leave the heavens rent. This vessel, gripped by soul of man, I went there in his hand, a heart of hope and will of glass, deposited to land. Gathered there into a carriage driven by a man who from 3 places had 2 faces. Knots composed his hands. He took me to a home of stone, with safety as its call, a place that wears the organs of the living on its walls. I set out then to climb the hill, where all the world forgot this. Atop the hill there called a palace filled with songs of promise, promises of life and death, a symphony of soul to capture me and name my dance and turn my will to gold. Within its walls the palace held a fortune rescued from the mire, a meeting and an invitation scribed into its tiles and wire. Dedication in their purpose sets the world aright, their messages revealed to me in sun's unveiling light. A queen was there and rose before me, gathering her call. Courtiers stood then in their place, the king granted his hall. Sages stood then in their space. They spoke their peace with mystery, in dispositions of delight, camaraderie of the sisterly. Fools then danced, sung, and cavorted, obfuscating sight, until the whole scene was aborted, ejecting me to night. I wandered then, in darkness tight, searching for a home. The trolls were standing as to fight, demanding pieces of my bones. The goblins laughed and spirits cackled as the world lapsed, and I was lost within a tomb to witness its collapse. An ogre stood then, threatening, and bearing bloody blade, fleeing her into the market, grim retreat was made. She pursued and overthrew the tall red metal tower, and stole the words of life's arrangement from its wooden bower. I wandered through the town, encountered faces from the past, and gargoyles bracing with their shields to make the world last. Encouragement from love's companion reinforced my will, and slowly feet began to rise again upon the hill. The palace turned then, opening and radiating light, beckoning me to return from cold, wet, windy night. The king and queen, and fool and sage before me were arrayed, and in their midst a burnished golden mirror was displayed. I peered within, expecting then some overwhelming sin, but found instead a sea of pilgrims joined in rousing hymn. I closed my eyes and turned to find creation being known, but best of all, despite my fall, that I was not alone.